Hi, everyone, and welcome. I'm thrilled to be your host for the Acumatica Distribution Edition 25R2 breakout session. I'm Kelly Squizzero, Product Manager for Distribution at Acumatica. Today, I'm joined by an amazing team of product managers who each lead strategic areas within distribution. We'll be walking you through the latest innovations and enhancements in 25R2. Let's kick things off with a quick round of introductions.
Hi everyone, my name is Valentina and I'm a technical product manager for supply chain management and distribution.
Hi, my name is Dana and I'm product manager for distribution integrations.
And hi, I'm Mike. I'm the WMS product manager.
All right, well, great. Thanks, guys, and let's get started.
We've got an exciting lineup of new features to share in today's distribution webinar. We'll start with a quick overview of the Distribution Edition, then dive into powerful tools like the AI-powered cross-sell assistant and order orchestration. You'll also see enhancements for intercompany drop shipping, smarter shipping options with PaceJet, and new warehouse capabilities like directed put away and non-stock receiving. Each feature is designed to help you work smarter, fulfill faster, and serve your customers better. If you have questions or comments during the session, drop them into the Q&A panel on your screen. We're monitoring live and will respond as we go. At Acumatica, we understand the challenges you face. Distributors often deal with delays, increased shipping costs, and inventory shortages due to global conflicts, economic instability, and natural disasters. Efficiently managing thousands of SKUs is complex. Without advanced systems, distributors risk overstocking or stockouts, leading to lost sales and increased holding costs. Maintaining healthy profit margins is tough amid intense competition and fluctuating costs. Small, mid-sized distributors face pricing pressures from larger competitors and rising operational costs, requiring continuous optimization of pricing strategies and cost management. Keeping up with modern technology is crucial yet challenging. Many distributors use patched-together solutions with fragile integrations, making upgrades nearly impossible and risky. Offering high levels of service, including personalized care, timely deliveries, and consistent product availability, is vital but challenging. Balancing these demands with operational hurdles can make customer retention tough. Distributors need effective solutions to address these challenges, and that's where Acumatica comes in. Acumatica's Distribution Edition is a comprehensive end-to-end solution. It is a web-based application built for small to medium-sized businesses on a future-ready platform, ensuring flexibility and longevity. All the functions distributors require is available within a single application and database. Having everything in one place streamlines processes, reduces duplication of data, and enhances overall efficiency. It also simplifies reporting and decision-making, leading to better control and visibility across the organization. Let's take a quick look at some of the key capabilities of the Distribution Edition. As you know, distributors handle a wide range of product SKUs which are essential to their business. These items can be quite complex, ranging from stock to non-stock, serialized and lot-controlled, matrix items, and kits and components. Acumatica's inventory management system equips you to handle this complexity efficiently. It ensures smart inventory decisions and keeps stock readily available when needed. Acumatica's sales management improves the customer experience with embedded CRM and flexible order management, including support for both counter and showroom sales. Acumatica supports comprehensive pricing capabilities, including promotions, offers flexible inventory allocation, streamlines invoicing, links purchase orders to sales orders, keeps real-time tabs on stock, and more. Acumatica streamlines procurement with features like automated replenishment, keeping stock levels just right, no more stockouts or excess. DRP uses forecasts and real-time demand to get the right products to the right place fast. Electronic vendor bidding streamlines procurement and speeds up decision-making. Centralized or decentralized purchasing, Acumatica supports both, giving you control, flexibility, and savings. And that's just the beginning. Acumatica does so much more. With the Distribution Edition, you can manage your warehouse more efficiently by using barcode scanning, guiding staff to the right locations, automating packing, and seamlessly integrating with carriers for shipping. Acumatica's WMS is the perfect solution for small and mid-sized businesses looking to reduce errors and improve productivity in the warehouse. Acumatica offers multiple commerce storefront options like BigCommerce and Shopify for seamless business-to-business and direct-to-consumer experiences. Integration between Commerce and Acumatica ensures synchronized item data, stock availability, and sales orders. Acumatica also connects to retail point-of-sale systems, supporting omni-channel distribution. Acumatica's robust financials handles AR, AP, GL, cash, taxes, and payroll in one seamless system. You can build custom reports and connect to Power BI for powerful real-time analytics. With built-in AI and machine learning, you can spot anomalies in margins, costs, and bills before they become a problem. You can uncover duplicate payments, fraud, or billing errors, protecting your bottom line and ensuring financial integrity. All the powerful features in the Distribution Edition are built on a modern, flexible platform designed for growth, innovation, and agility. At its core is cloud technology, built for scalability, mobility, and performance. So whether you're in the office or on the go, you stay connected. With built-in mobility, your team can collaborate in real time and make faster decisions from anywhere. Our low-code, no-code tools let you easily tailor screens, reports, and workflows. No heavy development work required. Thanks to open APIs, you can integrate Acumatica with your existing tools and build a connected ecosystem that works for you. And beyond distribution, we offer industry-specific solutions for manufacturing, construction, retail, and professional services. You're starting with a solution built for your world. Finally, our practical AI helps you work smarter, spotting trends, surfacing insights, and boosting efficiency. With that high-level overview in mind, let's dive into what's new in 25R2. The team and I will walk you through some of the exciting new features and enhancements designed to help you work smarter and drive results. Managing cross-sell relationships manually is a major operational challenge for distributors, especially as product catalogs grow larger and more complex. Every time a new item is added or customer buying patterns shift, someone has to update item relationships to ensure relevant suggestions are available during sales. This often involves digging through historical data, relying on tribal knowledge, and making manual updates across hundreds or thousands of SKUs, all of which takes time and increases the risk of missed opportunities. The new Cross-Sell Assistant in Acumatica 25R2 solves this by using machine learning to automatically generate suggestions based on historical sales data. You control how often it runs, set relevance thresholds, and fine-tune suggestions by category or item. This saves time, scales cross-selling, and delivers smarter, data-driven recommendations, while keeping you in control of what gets presented to customers. In today's review of the new AI-powered Cross-Sell Assistant, I'll walk you through how to set up, run, and manage this new capability. We'll look at how to configure the tool, generate suggestions, review and approve them, and analyze the results to refine your strategy. Let's walk through the initial setup of the Cross-Sell Assistant, which takes place on the Machine Learning tab of the Sales Order Preferences form. This is where you define how the system will analyze your sales data and generate cross-sell suggestions. Start by selecting the data period for analysis. This defines how far back the system looks into your historical sales transactions to identify buying patterns. You can choose a time frame of up to 2 years. If your product catalog changes frequently, such as seasonal items or fast-moving SKUs, a shorter period is ideal. For more stable catalogs, a longer period provides richer data for more accurate suggestions. Next, set the minimum relevance score. This score determines how strong the relationship between items must be for the system to suggest them as cross-sells. The system calculates this score based on factors like how often items are sold together. A higher score means only the most relevant pairings will be suggested. A lower score allows more suggestions, but some may be less meaningful. It's a balance between precision and volume. In the maximum number of suggestions field, specify how many cross-sell items the system should generate per product. This helps you control the volume of suggestions and avoid overwhelming your team or customers. A typical range is 5 to 10 suggestions per item. If there are item classes you want to exclude from the suggestion process, such as services, discontinued items, or niche categories, you can list them in the excluded item classes table. This keeps your suggestions focused and relevant. You can also exclude historical data based on order type. This is especially useful if certain order types, like samples or internal transfers or returns, shouldn't influence your cross-sell recommendations. If you want suggestions to be immediately usable, check the Add Relations as Active box. This makes the generated cross-sell items automatically appear on the Related Items tab of both stock items and non-stock item forms. With this setting enabled, cross-sell items can be added to sales orders as soon as the generation process completes. Finally, choose a notification method in the Generated Suggestion Notification field. This ensures your team is alerted as soon as new suggestions are available, so they can review, approve, or act on them promptly. For greater precision in the cross-sell suggestions generation, you can fine-tune the logic at the item class level. These settings apply to all items within the selected class and are configured on the Machine Learning tab of the Item Classes form. In the Cross-Selling Assistant Settings section, you'll find 2 key options. The Preferred Item Classes option lets you control whether the system should suggest cross-sell items from the same class, other classes, or any class. This is especially useful if you want to keep recommendations tightly grouped. For example, suggesting accessories only within the computers class, or if you want to expand suggestions across broader categories. The Price of Suggested Items option allows you to choose whether the system should suggest items that are lower in price only, or allow suggestions of any price. This gives you flexibility depending on your sales strategy. For instance, if you're trying to upsell premium accessories, you might allow higher price suggestions. You can also adjust these settings at the individual item level on the Related Items tab of the Stock Items and Non-Stock Items form, giving you even more control over specific product relationships. Once your settings are in place, you're ready to move to the Generate Cross-Sell Suggestions form. This is where the Cross-Sell Assistant really gets to work. You have 3 options: run the process on demand whenever you choose, or take a more hands-off approach by scheduling it to run weekly or monthly. After selecting your frequency, simply click Process. The system will begin analyzing your historical sales data to identify meaningful product pairings. As the system generates suggestions, you can track its progress using the summary fields at the bottom of the screen. These show you how far along the process is, when it started, how many records were analyzed, and how many suggestions were created. It gives you a clear view of what's happening behind the scenes without needing to dig into logs. And once the suggestions are ready, the system can notify you automatically so you're never left guessing. After the system generates cross-sell suggestions, they appear in the Manage Cross-Sell Suggestions form. As you review each recommendation, you'll see a relevance score, which indicates how strong the match is based on historical sales data, and a rank, which shows its priority among multiple suggestions for the same item. These help you quickly focus on the most valuable cross-sell opportunities. You can choose to approve or delete suggestions based on what makes sense for your business. If you delete a suggestion, the system learns from that feedback and lowers the relevance score for that pairing in future generations. You can select individual suggestions and click Process to apply your chosen action. Alternatively, if you're satisfied with all the suggestions, you can use Process All to approve them in one step, saving time and making the cross-sell items immediately available for use in sales orders. To analyze and refine your cross-sell strategy, you can use the Cross-Sell Suggestion Inquiry. This inquiry displays every AI-generated suggestion, including those that have been approved but not deleted, giving you a complete view of what the system has recommended. For example, by filtering by item class, you can view suggestions by product category, allowing you to evaluate cross-sell opportunities with specific lines like electronics or accessories. You can also compare pricing between the original and suggested items to identify logical upsell opportunities or value-based pairings. Beyond that, you can filter by relevant score to focus on the strongest suggestions, or by approval status to track which recommendations are already in use, helping you refine your strategy over time. To wrap up, the Cross-Sell Assistant is a powerful tool that helps you work smarter, not harder. It increases revenue with intelligent, relevant suggestions, saves time by eliminating manual setup, and scales effortlessly across large and evolving product catalogs. And with full control over review, approval, and fine-tuning, you can tailor the experience to fit your business. Many distributors face a common challenge, deciding which warehouse should fulfill each order. When you're managing multiple warehouse locations, this decision-making process can quickly become time-consuming, error-prone, and inefficient, especially when done manually. Acumatica's new Order Orchestration Assistant addresses this head-on. It automates warehouse selection using configurable fulfillment strategies. Whether you're optimizing based on customer proximity through shipping zones or prioritizing inventory usage with warehouse rankings, the system adapts to your business model. The benefits are immediate: reduced fulfillment time, fewer manual steps, and smarter inventory allocation. And because it supports mass orchestration and automation, it scales effortlessly for high-volume operations. In this review, we'll explore order orchestration strategies, how to configure the solution, and how to process orders using order orchestration. Acumatica offers two powerful fulfillment strategies. Destination Priority minimizes shipping costs by selecting the warehouse closest to your customer. You define shipping zones and assign warehouse priorities with each zone. With Warehouse Priority, you optimize inventory usage by selecting the warehouse with the best available stock. You define a source warehouse, set global priorities, and protect safety stock levels. These strategies give you flexibility to match orchestration logic to your business model, whether you're focused on cost efficiency or inventory optimization. Setting up order orchestration is easy. It starts with creating shipping zones, which are needed for the destination priority strategy. Shipping zones let you group geographic regions, like states or countries, so Acumatica can automatically match customer locations to the most appropriate warehouse. Next, you'll build your orchestration plans, which define how orders are fulfilled based on either warehouse priority or destination priority. For warehouse priority, you select a source warehouse, optionally include it as the highest priority, then define eligible warehouses with priority rankings and safety stock rules. For destination priority, you identify the shipping zone and assign warehouse priorities within that zone to guide fulfillment. Finally, you'll connect everything through your order types. These act as the bridge between orchestration plans and actual orders. On the General tab, you'll find a new Orchestration Settings section where you can choose the fulfillment strategy and limit the number of warehouses used per order to manage shipping complexity. Once your zones, plans, and order types are configured, you're ready to orchestrate. Most businesses orchestrate in bulk, collecting orders throughout the day and processing them all at once. With Acumatica, this is fast, efficient, and easy to manage. From the Process Order screen, simply select Orchestrate Order and click Process All. Acumatica then automatically assigns the best fulfillment path for each order based on your orchestration plans. For high-volume operations, you can even schedule orchestration to run automatically, keeping fulfillment smooth and hands-free. Behind the scenes, the logic works like this. The system checks warehouse priorities in your orchestration plan. It first tries to fulfill the entire order from a single warehouse with enough inventory. If that's not possible, it looks for a combination of warehouses that can fulfill the order. It always aims to minimize the number of warehouses used, reducing shipping complexity and cost. Bulk orchestration is great for high volume efficiency, but what about exceptions? Sometimes you need to handle a one-off order, a rush request, or make a manual override. Acumatica makes that just as easy. From the sales order screen, you can orchestrate an individual order instantly. In this example, we have a sales order with 4 line items, all defaulting to the VA retail warehouse. However, 2 of those items don't have enough stock to ship. Let's see how orchestration can help us find a better fulfillment option. To orchestrate the order, simply click More, Orchestrate Order. The assistant will analyze your inventory and, using the orchestration rules you've already defined, recommend the best warehouse or combination of warehouses for fulfillment. The dialog box displays which orchestration plan was used, giving you full transparency into how the decision was made. In this case, the system determined the most efficient way to fulfill the order was by using both the retail and wholesale warehouses. To accept the recommendation, simply click Save. The system then updates the order by inserting the suggested warehouse into the line items, marking them as orchestrated, recording the orchestration plan used, and allocating the inventory. Just like that, Acumatica applies your fulfillment logic to make the best decision, automatically, accurately, and in real time. With that overview, you're ready to take full advantage of the new Order Orchestration Assistant in Acumatica 25R2. It's a game changer for distributors, automating warehouse selection to speed up fulfillment, freeing up staff, and helping balance inventory across locations. Whether you're scaling operations or fine-tuning strategy, this smart assistant adapts to your needs and drives better customer satisfaction.
We are also introducing intercompany dropship in Acumatica 2025 R2. This extends our existing intercompany capabilities, where purchase to warehouse is already supported. This feature is designed for businesses with multiple companies or branches that need to work together to fulfill customer orders more smoothly. Coordinating drop shipments between branches often means each team has to create the same documents separately, re-enter the same data, and then go back and forth to make sure everything matches. It's slow and mistakes are easy to make. With this new feature, Acumatica automates the process. When one branch creates a dropship purchase order, the other branch can instantly generate a connected sales order. The system automatically copies all the details, so both documents are created consistently without manual re-entry. The same logic applies to shipments and receipts and related financial documents, ensuring both sides remain aligned end-to-end. This means teams spend less time on paperwork, documents are consistent across branches, and the risk of errors is minimized. Let's walk through a quick example to see this feature in action. Imagine the organization has 2 companies, one in the US and another in Canada. A customer places an order in the US company for an item produced by the Canadian company, but there is no stock available locally. On the sales order line, I mark the item for purchase and select dropship at the purchase source. So now let's proceed with creating an intercompany purchase order. Because the Canadian company is set up as the preferred vendor for this item, the system selects it automatically. I create a purchase order as usual, and the system generates it as a dropship, with the customer's shipping details carried over. The Generate Sales Order action then becomes available, and with one click I can create the linked sales order in the Canadian company. This step can also be automated from the Generate Intercompany Sales Order screen. The link to the intercompany sales order is now present in the purchase order. Once the sales order is generated in the Canadian company, it is automatically linked to the intercompany purchase order and already contains all the necessary details. From here, I can create the shipment which goes directly to the customer. When the shipment is confirmed in the Canadian company, I can move to the US site and generate an intercompany receipt. This can be done directly in the shipment by using the Generate PO Receipt action, or the process can be scheduled on the Generate Intercompany Purchase Receipt screen. Once the receipt is created, a link to this receipt is placed on the original shipment. The receipt in the US company is automatically linked to the shipment that was created in the Canadian company. This means both sides of the process are connected without any manual steps. Once the customer physically receives the goods, we can go ahead and release the receipt in the system. Let's see our initial sales order. At this point, the US company views the order as completed, with a link to the dropship purchase receipt on the Shipments tab. Now the invoice for the external customer can be created. Finally, from the invoice created in the Canadian company, we can generate the related bill in the US company, either from invoice or automatically on the Generate Intercompany Documents form. In the bill, we have a link to the initial intercompany purchase order and receipt. Now let's imagine our external customer has already been invoiced, but later decides to return one of the items. Since this item originally came from the Canadian company, I want the return to go back there. On the sales order return line, I mark the item for dropship and select the action Create Vendor Return. The system automatically generates the corresponding intercompany purchase return. Let's open it and take a look. All the relevant details from the customer return are already carried over. Once we've verified the information, we can go ahead and release it. At this point, the Generate Sales Return action becomes available. By running this action, the system creates a sales order of the return type in the Canadian company and links it directly to the intercompany purchase return. I can now process the return order in the Canadian company. The first step is to receive the returned item. During this step, the system records that the goods have physically come back into the Canadian branch. By completing this receipt, we are closing the logistical side of the customer return and preparing the documents needed for the financial reconciliation. To complete the financial side of the process, I generate a debit adjustment in the US company based on that Canadian credit memo. If we open the document, we can clearly see that it is linked back to the initial purchase order and the purchase return. If we open the purchase order in the US company, we will see that it provides full traceability. It shows references to the original receipt, the return document, and the entire billing history. Let's look at the key advantages this feature brings to your business. It's not just about automating documents, but about making collaboration between branches much easier. What previously required duplicate entry, manual checks, and repeated coordination is now streamlined by the system, so your teams can focus on customers instead of paperwork.
PaceJet is a shipping solution natively integrated to Acumatica ERP. The integration is maintained and enhanced by Acumatica in collaboration with the PaceJet product team. We enhanced shipping options in 2025 R2 release to cover LTL shipping options and to include customer setups for these options that are used to default onto Acumatica business transactions. Shipping options, or accessorials as they're otherwise known, are crucial because they represent additional services that carriers provide beyond standard transportation. These can impact cost and efficiency. By proactively addressing accessorial needs, shippers can mitigate risks like delays and extra charges and enhance supply chain reliability by knowing when accessorials or shipping options are needed. Many accessorial or shipping options such as liftgate, inside delivery, limited access are customer or customer location specific. While liftgate, inside delivery, and limited access have been available for manual entry on the sales order and shipment transactions in Acumatica ERP, they could not be automatically defaulted based on the customer location profile. Prior to 25 R2, this meant that the CSR or shipping desk would need to remember or ask a customer every single time whether or not they had the need for an accessorial or shipping option and know whether it was applicable to LTL or parcel. This created extra steps and introduced the very real possibility of forgetting a must-have shipping option. For example, liftgate is needed when there isn't a loading dock or a forklift at the customer's location. Not having this shipping option could result in an undeliverable shipment, causing delays, chargebacks, and a dissatisfied customer. Not to mention the operational disruptions caused in order to get the shipment back there using the right truck with a liftgate as soon as possible. The Acumatica PaceJet integration now supports customer-specific LTL shipping options, liftgate, inside delivery, and limited access. Additional handling is also a common accessorial that is now included in the customer location profile. Covering the sales order cycle from opportunity to shipping, you can now predefine accessorials, shipping options, that can be used based on specific customer location needs and delivery type, parcel versus LTL. Use these definitions to expedite rate estimation for carrier services during the sales cycle and during shipping at the shipping desk. Improve customer satisfaction by automating the selection of these shipping options onto business transactions in Acumatica. Never forget another customer-specific shipping option or accessorial again. Avoid chargebacks, delays, and supply chain disruptions. Now let's see how this feature works. So I'll start by setting up a catch-all ship via. Here you notice a delivery type now on the ship via. It's set to NA by default, so you'll want to go in and indicate whether your ship via code is parcel or LTL. We'll then show you the customer setup. So here we'll visit the locations and have these settings be different for each of our locations as we walk through our example. So the first location I set up as requiring liftgate, so this customer actually needs special equipment. And the next location will require inside delivery. So this is a LTL specific shipping option. The third location, just showing you that we now support that additional handling that could be set up and then will be used to default to our transactions. So now we'll create a sales order using that customer and those locations that we've set up. So here on the sales order, we're going to start with the main location. So we'll check out on the shipping tab what has defaulted based on our LTL setting. Remember, we have inside deliver that's required for that main location. Let's change the location to the western location. And you may remember that that one requires liftgate. Notice that this defaulted onto our sales order as per that setup. So now we'll just complete our sales order. We'll ship some items from our warehouse, and then we'll continue with our example to see how this then carries over to the shipment transaction and respects those data setup. Here's that shipment for our sales order. And you'll recall that we had indicated the ship via as to be determined, and it defaulted liftgate based on our customer configuration. So what I'll do is I'll override that to SAs, which is an LTL carrier that we had set up, and notice that that liftgate is retained.
Picture this. Your warehouse receives 200 items daily, and your associates spend about 1 minute per item checking storage assignments. It's over 3 hours of wasted productivity every single day. Multiply that by training time for new associates, location errors, and retrieval delays, and you're looking at thousands in lost efficiency annually. But what if associates never had to guess where items belong? Acumatica's directed put-away transforms warehouse operations by automatically guiding associates to optimal storage locations. No more checking, no more guessing. Just scan, follow the prompt, and put it away. It's that simple. Let's walk through the setup process step by step. First, open the Item Warehouse Details form. Select your inventory item and the warehouse where this item will be received. And now here's the key enhancement. You'll see a new field called Default Put Away To. This is where you specify the optimal storage location for this item in this particular warehouse. Enter your location, save your changes, and you're all done for this item. Alternatively, you can configure the put-away location on the stock item form. Another nice feature that's on the stock item form is on the Warehouses tab, you can view all put-away locations for an item across multiple warehouses for a comprehensive overview. The final configuration step is to navigate to the Purchase Order Preferences form and click the Warehouse Management tab. Look for the checkbox labeled Request Location for each item on putting away and make sure it's selected. This setting is what transforms your warehouse operation from manual location lookup to intelligent guided put away. Here's where the feature becomes visible to your warehouse team. When associates use the Receive and Put Away form for put away operations, they scan the received item to identify what needs to be put away, and the app prompts them to scan a warehouse location. And here's the improvement. It automatically suggests the item's put away location right on the screen. Associates can quickly scan the suggested location for instant processing, or they have the flexibility to override with a different location if circumstances require it. Of course, the experience is the same on our mobile app as well. Directed Put Away isn't just for stock items. You can also configure default put away locations for non-stock items that require receiving and put away. Simply use the non-stock item location field in the Warehouses form. Acumatica Directed Put Away provides intelligent automation that transforms warehouse efficiency. Your associates get the guidance they need, your operations get the speed they require, and your business gets the accuracy it demands. Transform your warehouse operations with intelligence that works. Here's a costly warehouse reality. When a single purchase order contains both stock and non-stock items, or a mixed order, your team faces productivity nightmares. Stock items flow through automated workflows, while non-stock items require completely separate manual processes. A mixed order can take 3 times longer to process. Now imagine that across hundreds of mixed orders monthly. Acumatica 2025 R2 eliminates this artificial divide. One workflow handles everything. Stock and non-stock items process identically through the same automated system. First, let's cover the essential prerequisites. For any non-stock item to participate in automated receipt and put away, you must select the Require Receipt checkbox on the non-stock items form. Only items with this setting enabled can be received, returned, and put away through the automated workflow. This gives you complete control over which non-stock items require formal receiving processes. Next, configure your default locations in the Warehouses form. You have 2 key fields under default locations. First, the receiving location serves as the primary default for both stock and non-stock items. Second, the non-stock item location, previously called picking location, handles both receiving and picking for non-stock items. The system uses a smart hierarchy. It checks the receiving location first, and then falls back to the non-stock item location if the first is empty. The magic happens in the automated workflow. When you receive a purchase order containing non-stock items, the system automatically populates the default location based on your warehouse settings. Warehouse managers gain complete visibility through enhanced tracking capabilities. The Put Away tab on the Purchase Receipts form now includes put away quantities for both stock and non-stock items. You can click through to see the actual transfer details on the transfer form, where non-stock items appear alongside stock items. A new put away quantity column in the Line Details dialog shows exactly how much has been processed for each item. The benefits are immediate. Unified workflows eliminate training complexity. Mixed purchase orders process seamlessly, and we get improved warehouse efficiency. Acumatica's unified approach transforms warehouse operations, one workflow, one training process, maximum efficiency.
Thank you so much for joining us today. We've covered some of the key highlights from the 25R2 distribution release, from AI-powered selling to smarter fulfillment and enhanced warehouse operations. But what you've seen today is just the beginning. There's even more innovation packed into this release. We can't wait to see how you put these new capabilities to work.